Are we up? We are up. Ooh, yes, sir. Okay. What's happening, guys? So, my name is John Davis. Those of you who know me, I might look a little bit different. I have gained some weight. I'm gonna be trying to lose it soon. I also don't have my glasses on because I don't have glasses anymore. I had LASIK eye surgery not long ago. Um, and depending on when you knew me, you might not have seen my goatee. So that's back. That's on my face. Anyway, um, 2 or 3 years ago, I recorded myself writing a Visual Studio extension called Fast Koala. So I did that on a website. I think it was livestream.tv. I think that site is defunct, which is very sad. However, YouTube is not defunct, so I'm doing this live to YouTube right now. What is this? I'm not touching Fast Koala right now. However, Visual Studio 2019 is pretty much on the way out the door. I've got the, I guess, the RC3, or the most recent preview installed, and for whatever reason, they have this stupid start window, which just goes back to the mindset of Windows 95. Notice if I have this open and I click into the menu, it beeps at me, yelling at me, telling me, you can't do that. It's called a modal window. Modality in UI has been deprecated as a best practice for over a decade now. And for whatever reason, some idiot in Microsoft thought it would be a good idea to bring it back because, ooh, that's cool, that's new. Everybody's gotten rid of modal windows, but modal windows are different now, so they're cool. So let's bring it back. I hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it. So, what would you like to do? What I would like to do is get rid of you. If you go into the menu, you guys can probably barely see this, but if you go into the look at the toolbar, there's a little drop down thing on the very, very far right of the toolbar, and you can say build, or you can look at your options, your add or remove buttons, and then or something like that. Let's say you right click on the toolbar and say customize, right? So you go in here into this window and you click on Commands tab. If you click into the menu bar and then go into File, click on Add Command, you can find, let's see, you go into File, you will find Start Page. And if you click OK, and you look in here and you can move it down, you click the Move Down button a few times to bring it right here where you want it to be. Now, in my case, I ended up with 2 Start Page items in this list. I don't know why. It's like they had it there already, but they hid it. They disabled it. So it's there, but it's not there. So now that it's there, I can click on Start Page, and there you go. That's the old Visual Studio 2017 Start Page that I personally prefer. I can get started from here, at least kicking off my recent or doing an open project solution or new project, create a new project, which will bring back that stupid start with, actually it's not quite the same. But anyway, I prefer that. Now, if you go into Tools menu Options and choose Startup, go into Environment and then Startup. I changed it from Start Window. It used to be Start Page in Visual Studio 2017. Now it's just Start Window, and they don't give you an option for Start Page, and that's something I want to fix today. There might be another fix out there. I haven't really done my homework, but right now this is my tentative plan is I'm going to fix this today. Not this specifically, but I want to be able to start up into my Start Page. Meanwhile, I'm going to choose Empty Environment. So, Empty Environment, hit OK. Now, next time I launch this thing, I literally end up seeing an empty environment, which looks like this. If I want to get my Start Page, I have to go File, Menu, then start page. That's an extra set of clicks I don't really care to do. So let's fix that. So, file menu, new project. I have the extensibility, Visual Studio extensibility features set up in my Visual Studio. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do VSIX. I'm going to do VSIX project. I don't want the empty one because I want it to have a package right out the door. I'm going to call it, let's say restore. Let's see, start page. Let's call it VS Start. VS Start. I'm going to call it VS Start because I think over time I'm going to want to expand on this so that instead of just the start page, maybe later I'll have a configuration window that will let me configure what to do at startup. So set it, like maybe set a command or something. That would be kind of nice. So save VS Start. And by the way, there might be something out there already called VS Start, but let's just do this anyway first, and then I'll do a extensions lookup to see if there's anything out there. Manage extensions. Now, the marketplace for extensions might not be set up yet for what's out there. Might be something out there for VS 2017, and whatever's out there for 2017 might just not be ported to 2019 yet, in which case somebody might have something out there. They just need to port it real quick, and then we'll end up with a duplicate solution. But anyway, let's just look at this. So VS Start. Let's just see if somebody's got that. Nope. What about VS Space Start? No. What about just Start? Quick Start. Oh, come on. This is very, very broad, ambiguous word. But surprisingly, there's only 2 pages. If I launch VS 2017, I should be able to see a more complete marketplace, the extension marketplace, and do the search again, just to get an idea for what's going to be coming potentially. So let's do this real quick. You can see all these stupid, quick and dirty apps I was tinkering with. But yeah, so online. Let's do this again. VS Start. No. VS Space Start. No. Start. 4 pages. Solution start page. This is a start page replacing the start pages of, ooh, that could be interesting. And it's once it gets ported. Now, I did notice in Google when I did a search for something else that there's a way, a documented way, a standard way that you can actually customize your start page without using whatever this is. And so that this author probably just followed that tutorial and then made an extension out there for it. So right click the right, there's a bit of whatever. Okay, that's nice. Now let's see. I don't really care about the start page. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at possibilities of other things happening when Visual Studio starts that can launch when Visual Studio starts. Because that's what I intend to do. After I just get the start page up and running, I want to expand on that and let it be user configurable what's going to happen when Visual Studio starts. Better start page, interesting. Well, and I could just, let's see, there's 2 more pages here. I'm not going to waste a whole lot more time on this. I might have already missed something, skipped something. It might have been right under my nose. I just want to get an idea of what's going to be coming to 2019 because this is all live in 2017, and whoever did all this is likely to get it migrated. All right. So for now, I'm just going to get started. So close out of that. I'm back in 2019 SDK. So we got this Visual Studio Start. You guys can barely see that. That's fine. I've got a high resolution monitor. But I can see it, and I'm all that matters, guys. I am all that matters. You don't matter at all. So if I ever pull up code, like right now, if I pull this up, I will I promise I will zoom so you can see what is going on here. So I assume that when I initiated this project, it generated a custom GUID. This is not a static GUID. I kind of already prototyped the ability to do what I am about to do. So I'm going to be doing some copying and pasting here, or at least looking over my other view over here to get a reference. So let's do that right now. So what I want to happen is when this thing, if I hit this, I've done nothing yet other than kick off, create a new VSIX thing. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't even start. So the first thing I want to happen is I want this initialize async to happen as soon as Visual Studio starts up. So to do that, I'm going to add an attribute above my start package, VS start package, which is an async package, by the way. In Visual Studio 2019, only async packages are supported. All of the regular packages from yesteryear are going to be deprecated. They're probably going to pull a plug on the release in about 2 weeks for synchronous packages. But what do I know? I'm not Microsoft. I'm hardly paying attention. I just realized that I have this want to bring back my start page. So now, provide autoload is the attribute to put on the class to tell it to load on a given context. Now, what context? I want this to happen whenever Visual Studio is in a state of having no solution loaded. So if I close Visual Studio, if I close a solution and I've been working on a solution, I close it out, that is the behavior in 2017 and in 2015 for the start page to come up. Likewise, when the whole thing starts up for the first time, same story. So that's what I want to do. VS Constants has what I need in there, so I do that and I add that using and do dot UI context dot no solution. Now there's a GUID and there's a string. So you would choose which one depending on the argument. In this case, the argument wants a string. I can put that might take a GUID. No, it's a string, and the string is a string representation of a GUID. That GUID happens to be ending, this one here, ending in 00F, which you probably can't see, because the tooltips are too small at this resolution for you to see. But anyway, allows. Now this is the tricky thing about the async package, is you have to do allows. I'm sorry, not allows. Package autoload flags.background load. That tells it to do this asynchronously in the background. Now the next thing we want to do is we got to resynchronize. Now that we've done this asynchronously, we got to resynchronize. And all I mean by that is we got to do our work in the UI thread. In the world of Windows, you really can't do a whole lot to the UI outside of the UI thread. You can do processing of stuff, but you can't do a lot of actually shell integration type of stuff without actually resynchronizing to the main application thread. So that's what this built-in thing is here. So let's just say nvdte.dte. That is the interface of our automation for Visual Studio. And we'll call it DTE, and we're going to get this guy out of our service provider, which is this. So we're going to do this asynchronously. So we'll await on it, then get service async. So it's got a service provider pattern out there. We'll do it. We want the SDTE, which is the DTE, but whatever S is, I don't remember. So type of SDTE, which is sitting out there in Visual Studio shall interop. And we want to cast this thing as envdte.dte. Now at this point, I don't really need this here. I can just say var. have to be redundant here. So now we've got our DT object populated. So let's just say we want to execute a command. What command? We've got everything we need now to do exactly what we want to do, which is launch that stupid start page. That's all we needed, just that one line of code after synchronizing with the thread, which is dte.execute command. And what command? Happens to be really simple. Remember, we looked in here, we put this menu item in here, and we found it in the in the file menu available commands. Happens to be exactly what we needed to need. So that's going to be file dot start page, and it's that simple. So now let's see if that works. I'm just going to kick off current instance. So I'm going to start a debugger using the current instance, which is another actual instance of Visual Studio Community 2019 preview. And it's going to build this thing, and actually, let's see, I'm going to actually do the building and off. Busy. Still waiting for it to come. There it comes. And when you do debugging of a Visual Studio extension, it gives you those little tools on each window that pops up, and they can help you do things, figure out what the heck is going on. So this thing is still kind of loading it. Oop. Look at that. I was going to say, this thing is still kind of loading up, getting itself situated, but now what's going on here? Something failed. We have to figure this out. No. Let's go back. Let's figure this out. I'm going to close this out. They did start the start page, though. I don't know if that's a fluke because I was screwing around with an equivalent solution earlier. This is my cat. Hi, Toby. Meow. What's to say? Hi. I had to figure this out. So what I got to do here is put this in a try catch. Not that. Put this in a try catch. And we'll just rethrow. I want to figure out what happened there. It didn't actually crash. It just said, something went wrong. So let's see what went wrong. I don't do a whole lot of, I don't have a whole lot of productivity at home because everything that would be productive actually does require me to be able to focus and not have a lot of noise or not have a lot of cat hair all over me. My cats rule this house, unfortunately. I am in my home office, if you didn't figure that out. Since I don't do this a whole lot. Now, DTE, did it populate? Yes, it did. And that failed because oh, I have a typo. I don't know what that was then. It must have been because my prior experiment kicked this thing off, and so it just brought that back up. I go. Well, what I'll do is I'll get this thing built and I'll install it in my so that experimental instance kind of behaves a little bit different at startup. Um, it's behaving kind of, I don't know, it's different because earlier when I was testing, it didn't start up straight into the start page. So it's a bit of a fluke that you saw it actually working. This is not actually working. I had a typo here. So I'm guessing it's because of my prior use. It sort of restored itself, maybe. My prior prototyping before I started recording. So I'm just gonna guess. I'm probably not gonna need this anymore. I figured out what the problem is. I'm just gonna comment all this out, and I'm gonna start without the button because it'll probably launch faster too. In fact, I'm gonna stop this, and just to make sure it succeeded, I'm gonna say system.windows.form. Oh, come on. Forms. I'm gonna need to install the package for that, or the reference for that. Windows Forms. Message box. Show loaded. Try that. Now this is not going to. I'm not going to see loaded unless execute command succeeded, and it's only going to succeed if this command exists. So if we see a start page, then we will know that it's not a fluke, that it's actually showing a start page from some built-in behavior or restoring my prior start page or something, but that it actually did work. And then we'll proceed from there. I'm going to get this VSIX built and then installed into my primary Visual Studio installation, and then enjoy it outside of the debugger. So it's still sort of starting up. It loaded. There it is. Okay. Got to my start page. So again, the experimental instance is loading the start page by way of a fluke rather than by command. But the actual Visual Studio instance, which is where I'm writing my code, doesn't actually show a start page unless I go File, Menu, Start Page. There's no way to get it to show a start page unless I go File, Menu, Start Page. And so that's the point of all of this. So now that I've done this work and I've written this code, I'm going to change this to release, build it, open folder, go into my bin directory, my release. It's either, yeah, there's a VSIX file there. So I'm going to close Visual Studio now and install this into my Visual Studio instance. You guys won't see this. I have a whole lot of icons installed. Now, obviously, I'm going to tailor this VSIX after I do this. I just via start right now, but I'm going to give it a better name and copyright it and all that stuff. And then I'll put it out there on the marketplace so that you guys can enjoy it too. Now, you'll see a bunch of stuff here, and this is because I was writing in my prototype prior to recording. I was using PowerShell to get to find that command, and it just kept spewing out a bunch of commands, and I had to stop it. And the automation instance never really fully unloaded, so it's just sitting out there running. So I had to end the tasks here, and that's why that's happening. End tasks. Golly, you're slow. I mean, really. It was such a simple thing. There we go. Okay. Now. I'm hoping that it starts up in my start page. Please, 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 please. Please start in my start page. Start up in my start page, please, please. Please, please. Please start up in my start page. It's still starting. Are you still starting? I think you're still starting. Please start in my... happening. Yay! And it says loaded. It worked. I got my start page. Let's get this out on the marketplace. Okay, before I do, that way I can go to... So when I go to work on Monday, I'll be able to download this from the marketplace, and I'll have that there too. That's the whole point of all this. It's just great. So before I do that, let's do a little bit of tailoring on this. So, I want to get rid of this loaded message. It's that simple. All of this effort to get this one line of code in there to execute so that I get my start page. Obviously, this is not much pride, but I solved a problem. And this is why we software developers love to do what we do. It's just, if you have a need, just sit down and write some code, even if it's a one-liner, and put it out there and say, here's my solution. Yeah. So let's do this. Assembly info vs start. This launches the start page in VS 2019. Auto launches the start page in Visual Studio 2019. I'm going to name it the company myself, Jonathan Michael Davis. 2019. And it's that simple. Now, VSIX manifest. So this is what we modify when we want to publish out to the marketplace. So we'll call it VS Start. And we'll do the same thing. Say auto launches. For the, you guys can see this. I'm documenting the description. So the description is auto launches the start page in Visual Studio 2019. The license, there's no license. Icon. Let's see. You know, I like the start page icon. I wonder if I could do that. Let's see here, Visual Studio. Start page icon. I wonder if it will just let me download the actual icon. Now I know that there's a like a package of Visual Studio icons as a grab bag of glyphs, and I could probably get it from there. The thing is, I haven't. I don't remember where I found that. Let's see here, Visual Studio icons. Download image library. I don't know if this is up to date and so on. 2019. No, it's old stuff. Here we go. Next. Whoa, that is two. The 2015 one is 2 gigs. Let's do that one. That's not small, which is a good thing. It means I've got a lot of stuff to work with. Oh, that's right. I have I've probably already downloaded what I need here. Open that in a new window while I download. Now, bunch of stuff in here. Icons. I can do this. Fam. Fam has a bunch of good stuff in it. So let's say I did that. I did icon. Oh, it's going to be only a 16 by 16, right? Things could be worse. Wonder. Start. Nothing that says start. Ooh. No. 1. There's too many hits on that. Begin. No. See, I'm just gonna look around, find anything here. You know, I could do this application lightning. That'll do. Let's just do that for now. Now it's probably gonna like say no, you can't use that image. I'm just gonna see what happens. Install targets. This will work on 16 and 17. No, it will work on Visual Studio version code. I don't know what version 16 and 17 are. Is 16 2017? Is 16 2017 or is 16 2019 and 17 is looking forward? 16 is 2019. The 17 is moving forward. Okay. So it's saying the full gamut of 2019's life cycle. That's great. Good. So we'll leave that there as 16. And dependencies is done a framework. That's fine. Good. Save this. I'm going to just say build, rebuild, and I think we can actually just about all that effort done except downloading some more images. So Visual Studio Gallery, the marketplace, has the ability to publish. So first I have to sign in. Hopefully you guys won't see my password here, but let's see here. I have this email address, and I don't really have this work account. It doesn't exist. I don't know why it thinks it does. Okay. So this is my publisher over here. But that thinks it's doing this over on widgets. Let's do this here. So we'll do a new extension for Visual Studio. I can drag and drop. So we'll just do that now. So VS start, drag and drop it here. Continue. It took my 16 by 16 fam icon, which is not licensed and is gonna serve. We'll be okay. Okay, so VS start. Now what is this? This is an internal name used by Marketplace to uniquely identify your extension. Cannot be edited at once. Okay, VS start. Hang on. I'm just gonna leave it VS start. How about that? go away. This error won't go away. Let's just paste what I had. So we'll do auto launches the start page in 2019. You can disable the build default behavior of launching the start. Yes. Start. When you guys can't see this, I just realized. So let's zoom way in here. You can disable the default behaviors launching the start window by using tools, options, environment, startup, and change these startup configuration to empty. What was it? Tools, options, environment, startup, empty environment, empty and all right. So this is a feature for it's not for building, it's not for coding, it's not for documentation. Let's maybe other setup and deployment. No, it's just simple. Oh, here we go. Start pages. Yep. Start pages. There we go. That's what it is. Okay. Start up. Start page. No. Start up. Come on. Start page. Source code repository. There isn't one yet. Allow Q&A, save and upload. Verifying. Verifying. So, I wonder how long this verifying will work. Verifying. Come on. Sorry, guys. I don't know how long this is going to take. If it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if it's 30 seconds. Clearly, it's not 30 seconds. I don't want to bore you. Just wait a little bit longer. And very soon, we will see the extension show up in the gallery once it's done verifying, I expect. I click into details. Oh, this is me. I don't care about me. I really don't care about me. All right, so while that's still verifying, let's uninstall the build I had earlier so that I can eventually get that from my from the marketplace, the gallery. Well, while that's verifying, come on. I don't know what else to do here to keep make this stream worthwhile. It's done. It's done. It's done. Reload. Still not public. Why isn't it public? I want it to be public. Click into it. Come on, make it public. Why isn't it? Make public. Yay, it's public. It's public. All right, now go into Visual Studio. Let's see how long this takes. Get tools and feature. No, that's the wrong one. I'm supposed to go in extensions. So gotta wait for this stupid thing to come up. Cancel out of it. Extensions. Manage extensions. Online. Wait a minute. Oh, I gotta close out of this so it finishes uninstalling first. Okay. Modify. Let's go. Uninstalling VS Start. Thank goodness. Why is it slower? It's so darn slow. It's not that complicated. It should be like, boom. I mean, really, Microsoft, what on earth? Are you guys compiling a whole book? Like a gigabyte of registry edits? What are you guys doing? I do like the fact that the Visual Studio 2019 code editor is much faster. Like, as I'm typing code and I got ReSharper installed, it seems to be quite a bit faster. I like that. I don't like the fact that some of this stuff, like, it's not a Visual Studio thing. It's a Windows thing. Like, everything in Microsoft's world, just anything with installer oriented, no matter what it is, it thinks about the whole universe. It contemplates the universe before it does anything. And you get these third-party installers, and they're just, oh, you want to put that there? Okay, bye. I mean, really, how hard can it be? It's 2019, guys. It's 2019. That none of the. I mean, we're using SSD drives these days. All right. Anyway, extensions. Manage extensions. I'm hoping to see this in the gallery. VS Start. It's there. Oh, it's so fun. Okay. Close that. Let it install. Meanwhile, these images finish downloading. I might want to find something in there that's interesting. So we'll extract, actually, properties. This is VS 2015. We'll extract these to the 2015 image gallery. While that's going, let's go ahead and install. And kick it off. There it is, my start page. I don't get that annoying. Tuesday Marketplace. I am updating this live stream, guys. That's what I'm doing in this other window here. So we're done. Tools, let's see, manage extensions. So if I make an update here on this extension and push it out on the marketplace, it will be updated here as well for me and for you. So that is you just watched the backstory, the building and deployment and publishing of VS Start in Visual Studio Marketplace, from originating the concern, the need, the want, to creating a new project, to writing one or two lines of code, building it and packaging it sort of, and like with the built-in packaging, and then getting it out there in the marketplace. And you too can download this from the marketplace today by looking for VS Start and enjoying. So next up is to, I think I'm going to stop this stream, kick off a new stream here in a bit, take a little break, but is to customize this thing so that we can launch something else if we want to. Maybe have a dialogue. And that's going to take a little more research than just a line of code. We're going to have to actually build a UI that integrates with the tools menu options, maybe. Wouldn't that be neat? A tools menu option, then VS Start. Little tab in the options. So I don't know what that's going to entail. I'm sure it's something, because there's a lot of extensions out there that put stuff into that dialog box with their own tabs, so it's doable. Also, I don't really know. Goodness, I've been coding for 20 years and I still haven't mastered XAML. So if it's documented for XAML, I'm gonna be. I mean, I've kind of tinkered with it, but I'm not gonna be very productive. So, as you saw, I actually use Windows Forms just to do a message box. So anyway, we'll continue that next time. But for now, this is it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this stream, and we'll enjoy this. I'll see what these icons are doing in the meantime. So, y'all take care.